I have, in my reporting, have heard that the Department of Justice is not moving with any alacrity to make a ruling on this referral, and so we'll just have to wait a little bit longer. Keep in mind, the January 6th committee is way ahead of the Department of Justice in terms of putting together the pieces that link various folks on the ground who were attacking the Capitol and the side effort of Trump and his allies to create what at least Ali Alexander called maximum pressure outside the White House, outside the Congress on January 6th, when Republican members who were going to fight this were going to vote on the certification. As for Mark Meadows, I feel like these texts don't say a ton for us about him. These do not reveal much more than a guy who was going, okay, she's a conservative leader, she's a wife of a Supreme Court justice, I am in receipt of what she said, and I am slightly encouraging her and thanking her. It could have been polite
I agree with that.
It could have been polite baloney. It could have been hey, I'm with you, and I agree the president should stay the president. But Mark Meadows said a lot of things to a lot of people that conflicted from time to time. He told a lot of people that it was really dangerous what Donald Trump was doing, and then he told Donald Trump that he totally agreed with him. So I don't think we can rule in or out what Meadows' motives were in talking to Ginny Thomas.
Yeah, and of course Meadows, though, it wasn't just like, hey, yeah, great, get back to you. That's my baby. I'll buy that. I mean, he said that he was depending on the King of Kings to help him get through this fight of good versus evil, and he would spend the rest of his days fighting to overturn the election. By the way, Willie, we're talking about Justice Thomas. For those who don't know, he's been in the hospital, and the Supreme Court had said a couple days ago his symptoms are abating. He is resting comfortably and expects to be released from the hospital in a day or two. So, thankfully, it is not serious, and the Supreme Court says he's resting comfortably and getting better. So I just wanted to get that out there for people who don't know. He's been hospitalized, but with flu-like symptoms, but they say not COVID, and he has been vaccinated, and I believe they said he's been boosted, resting comfortably, getting better, and will be out of the hospital soon.
Yeah, no, that's definitely good news. And Eugene Robinson, on the Mark Meadows point, I would also add, he said, quote, I staked my career on this. In other words, he said, this will be the defining moment of my career that I will continue to fight, he said in that text back to Ginny Thomas on overturning this election. But if you took the name off these texts, and it wasn't Ginny Thomas, who, as you say, was a respected member of the Republican establishment for decades in Washington, they're indistinguishable from a QAnon YouTube commenter. She's sending to the White House chief of staff these wild videos off of YouTube pushing conspiracy theories, and it has to be pointed out, all this was happening in the context of President Trump going out the morning after the election and saying, we're going to take this all the way to the Supreme Court. Again, no evidence that Clarence Thomas himself was involved, but the Supreme Court is in the mix here.
Exactly.
It sure is.
And look, these texts are from Ginny Thomas are completely unhinged. I mean, and the thing that gets me is that she is arguing that Sidney Powell, the lawyer, be the sort of face and voice of the resistance, I guess, or of true democracy, or of the Trump cult. And this is after Donald Trump himself has decided that Sidney Powell is kind of off the rails and isn't making sense, but Ginny Thomas is still right in there with her to the bitter end. It's just amazing, this radicalization, or I don't know what you would call it, of the Republican Party, of the conservative movement in Washington, is just astounding. If you take the long view of it and imagine this happening
And did it
25 years ago.
Did it penetrate the Supreme Court? Was the Supreme Court justice's decision compromised?
Well, you have to ask that question.
That is the question.
And the way the court works, he doesn't have to answer that question. The court doesn't have to answer that question.
Real quick, Carol.
I would just say Chief Justice Roberts is in a terrible pickle now as a result of this, because it raises the question that you've said, Mika. It also raises the question, when does a Supreme Court justice recuse themselves? When is that going to happen with this kind of appearance of a conflict?
Right. Wow. The Washington Post, Carol Leonnig, thank you.